Let's have a session on open trade or more open trade versus protectionism. We'll start with open trade. So open trade is when governments decide to trade openly with other countries and therefore they are not discriminating against imports and therefore promoting free trade. Now, if they're promoting free trade, it's encouraging competition between businesses in different countries, therefore promoting efficiency, and that's likely to reduce prices, which is great for consumers. Further advantages. Well, open trade means no tariffs. If you are pursuing as a government an open trade policy, it's likely other countries will reciprocate that towards you, so no tariffs for your businesses when they're trying to export abroad. So cheaper access to other markets, which can be a great thing. And by doing that, it might lead to access to larger markets. And larger markets means more output, means economies of scale, means your average cost per unit comes down, which might mean you could be more competitive with your prices because now it costs you less to make one unit, so you could bring your prices down as a consequence. Also, open trade might lead to more competition, and more competition will stimulate innovation. On the other side, let's look at protectionism. So protectionism is when a government uses controls to restrict the amount of imports entering a country. And you can do this in different ways. Tariff is number one. A tariff is simply a tax on imports. So it might be a UK business, well, it's £2 for that product, but a foreign business for the same product is £1.75. It's likely in this situation that consumers will go for the foreign business because it's cheaper. But if you were to put a tariff of 50p on foreign businesses, in this case, this foreign business here, well, that will mean that the new price after the tariff is £1.75 plus 50p, which is £2.25. Of course, the UK business still has a price of £2 because it's not an import. Now you have changed, you have switched the behaviour of consumers because now the foreign business, after the tariff, appears more expensive, has a higher price and will lead to lower demand for the foreign business and more demand for the UK business. But the impact of this, because essentially it's an increase in price, a change in price, will of course depend upon the PED, the price elasticity of demand. Cards up there for more details. Number two is quota. A quota is the limit on the sales of foreign goods to a specified country, and it can be by value, which is a monetary value, or by volume, by units. So it could be that foreign businesses can only sell £1 million worth of goods in the UK or in a country, or it could be, if it's by volume, 1 million units in the UK. An extreme version is an embargo, which is a complete ban on trading towards an economy. The last thing to think about is the impacts of open trade versus protectionism. Let's go through them. Well, number one, it's going to depend on if the business sells domestically or internationally. If the government that the business operates within has taken a more protectionist stance, well, it's going to really affect them if they trade internationally. It's not going to affect them at all if they are a domestic business. Number two is it depends on if the business imports its products from abroad. Because if it has to import raw materials, import components from abroad to manufacture its products, well, if has a government taken on a more protectionist stance, maybe they've put taxes on imports in place, being tariffs, well, that's going to change the prices of those costs of production and therefore their prices. It also depends on if the business faces foreign competition in domestic markets. A more protectionist stance will mean it will help them in terms of it's likely those foreign businesses will face quotas or tariffs. But on the flip side, if they're taking a more open trade stance, it might mean more competition for them. However, that could mean more innovation. Number four, and the final point, is it depends on if the business competes on price or something else, because tariffs change the price. So therefore, it might not have any impact if you're taking a protectionist stance and actually you're competing on something else, such as quality of your products. So I hope that helps on more open trade and protectionism, and I'll see you at the next session.